Malaysia today. We were hoping for a few friends who really go IPO.
Do you have a bigger dream of making it into a F&B empire like Berjaya Food like that? Yeah.
In fact,
Banana leaf rice is something a lot of people in Malaysia love, but BananaBro is making it even more special. It was started by Tony Lim, who loves taking simple ideas and turning them into big brands. BananaBro mixes the old tradition of banana leaf meals with new, modern touches. Tony wanted to make sure that more people could enjoy banana leaf rice, so he made it affordable, easy to get, and served with a clean and bright place that families love. Most people don't know that Tony isn't just following trends. He spots opportunities that others don't see. After doing really well with brands like Noodle and Cha Time in Cambodia, Tony realized that many people, especially those outside Klang Valley, hadn't tried halal banana leaf rice. He wanted to change that. What makes Tony stands out is his belief in treating customers like family, offering things like unlimited refills and a friendly atmosphere. In today's chat, we're not just talking about how BananaBro becomes a 70 million ringgit business. We are also going to learn about Tony's story, what he looks for in opportunities, and what's coming next for BananaBro. This is so different.
Today, I'm very honored to have Tony Lim, the founder of Noodle and also BananaBro.
Yeah.
Something really interesting about yourself is that you are actually not from the F&B background, right? In fact, you're an engineer yourself, right? Maybe you can share with us a little bit of your background.
sure. I was born into a family that reasonably, I would say since young, you get pretty much whatever you ask for, right? So in a small town, very near to the border, and I think I constantly feel like you are like a special one, you know? You always get things that you want, your friends doesn't. So I think that kind of shaped me quite a bit. But then again, back to the engineer background, you know, engineer is purely just studies.
Parents force you to take engineering course?
I scored A in biology and chemistry.
Wow.
But I didn't go for
Physics.
so-called doctors and whatever.
Okay.
But my physics was bad.
Oh, okay.
C3 or whatever at that time. Right? So, but I chose engineering because I like cars. Motorbike cars, anything with wheels, bicycle, there onwards. So, ended up as an engineer, then graduated from UK 2002 as an automotive engineer. Just purely study and interest.
Okay. Do you have a collection of cars yourself?
Still have now.
Wow.
In fact, I own a workshop from 2003 to 2005 when I finished the studies, then came home. Back home is logistics business.
Okay. I want to fast forward to your F&B journey. Right? I think your F&B journey started about 12 years ago, 2012, when your sister came to you and said, hey, you know, I want to start a business, right? But something very unique and a little bit shocking is that, okay, even if you want to start an F&B business, okay, fine. You know, the easiest way is to just open the lemonade store in front of your house, right? But you all chose to go all the way to Cambodia to open a franchise, a Cha Time franchise. Why you all choose that location?
I went home about 2005 after that workshop. Dad was saying like, you graduate as an engineer, you like your stuff. So I give you a chance in your life, but you don't have to come home and help. But it doesn't make money in 2 years and you have to come back. Be fair. That's fair enough. So when through enough, they make money. Burn all the capital, races and all that.
Right.
But I think actually we make money. It's just that we don't know how to manage it.
Right. So it's people management that cause a lot of inefficiency.
Way too young.
Okay.
You make money, you spend it, you spend.
Okay.
So then, time's up, went home, helped in the logistics business. We were trucking things, anything between Malaysia to Singapore to Thailand. This is a real route because I grew up in that business, in that family, right? So from young, dinner and lunch, our mom and dad's topic is always about So went in, kind of formalize it further with maybe your engineering approach a bit long. Anything is analyzed out to numbers and charts and everything. So there also, I think 2-3 years in, my job is you go and now set up your own operation in Kuala Lumpur. Last time the base is Phuket.
Okay.
So that brought me even further. Is that I think probably that your sub-time for 856 is like 2008. That zone or era, right, is where at that time I was 30. So you read all your Richard Branson, you read all your that time biography about that. It's about expansion,
the world
expand. Next start of the world, So that gave me a lot of the inspiration of, must go regional, must grow bigger, and we look up to the companies that those time. That brought me to say, okay, let's go further out. Then start meeting people in Indonesia. Cambodia is natural because it has a border with Thailand. So I set up the office in Bangkok and our own office there. Then from there, then we set up our own Cambodia office because at that point in time, I also get myself involved in air freight. Air freight means you work with airlines, you say, I up your whole belly space, we load the luggage. Inside they got a lot of cargo boxes and all, right? So you tap out that whole space, then you go and sell to the market. You go and sell to DHL, sell to all these people. So that brought me to Cambodia. And Cambodia was a very small market when I went there. I remember the staff that we had, they had 5, I think. The managers was paid like $220
a month.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the normal clerk or executive is paid $120 That's it. Considered not bad pay.
Right.
2010, 11. So when I still remember the first time I got there, the feeling is I got back to pride. Like not Penang, not even Penang, not KL for sure. I think I'm in pride, that back feeling. I realized the people in the office, even at 120, they very happy. They don't seem to be like, hey, not enough salary. So kind of had that nature. Also wonder why then start talking to them and learn a lot about them. At that point, their market has nothing except for Gloria jeans. So there was like one of the places that when I go, we want to bring boss there, drink coffee, so I can buy drinks for them. Ended up they buy them. So I said, hey, you got $100 only, why you want to belanja me, right? That time I think the coffee is $2, $2.20. Then I start to realize that actually the market is very young. So they live in that kind of like in the noontime, office shut, everyone go home for lunch, then they come back to work. So whatever they make, they spend on. Then it also shows me that, hey, actually this place got nothing for them to spend. That time no online shopping also. No e-commerce as well. So but that's one. Second thing is that when we do logistics business and I myself grow at a family level, is that it's a service based and a credit term based. So sometimes the winner of business is to fight on credit term. So I want this business, I give you 90 days, 120 days. Actually, the more you do that, the tougher it gets in one sense. You wake up brushing teeth, looking in the mirror, forgot about time or series, and all that happens again. That has also constantly tell me, said, you've got to find something else to do.
Okay.
Unless this business has a lot of capital somehow, however you want to do it. Or I always see friends who are in restaurants, big or small, or in mini market, big or small. I say, should be having better life. Or it's not big or small issues, but life is quite different from what I experienced at home. So that has got the retail part in me.
So you're looking for something cash term so they can collect cash quickly and then
that instead people owe me, I try to owe people. They're thinking, so maybe I should also switch side to this side a bit, not just all the way
smart.
Let people smart.
So you will ask for credit from your suppliers and all that, but then you collect cash first in front of your customers.
That's
the business model.
I heard hypermarkets are doing so. For example, if you want to put your bra on their shelf, you could pay them first, and then they sell and collect money.
Correct.
So retail is in the mind.
Okay. So why it caught my attention is because, like you mentioned, you're in the fruit business and all that. I mean, if you look for a bigger market, you would have gone to Thailand, where you already have a base there, or Indonesia, which has like 300 million population. But Cambodia is a small place. Yes, it is booming, and in fact, a lot more people are talking about going to Cambodia to expand the business today. But in 2010, I think that itself is still a very big risk. And the thing that I'm really impressed is even Cha Time bought into the idea and let you take the franchise into the country. So was there a lot of convincing that you need to do? That kind of stuff.
Think back, convincing, I don't think so. Is that I still remember I came back to Jalan office, then my sister showed me Cha Time. I didn't believe it because I thought bubble tea is that powder in South because that era I really that bubble tea. So never had Cha Time before. I tried it in Uptown. So I tried it, actually quite good because I like teh tarik. Then I said, hey, actually very good, maybe it can work. So when I sent an email to Taiwan, so just Google around, then find the name Makafa, right? So send an email to them. Then later part I got to know the lady boss actually lying on her hospital bed waiting to give birth to their third or second child, I think.
Okay.
She was so free, then she scrolled the email, then she replied me, okay I give you.
Wow.
Because her thinking is like, who would want to go there?
Right.
And they said, how many stores can you open? Then I was efficient. 10. To them, it's a very small market. You want to pay long. So I said 10. They said, 10,000, you pay us 10,000 US dollar per store license. You pay me up $100,000. Then I give the whole country to you. So I went back. You do a calculation. $100,000 give air freight. Not much of tonnage you can give out anyway. So here then and talk to parents a bit. Hey, we should really try this out. So we really got to commit. I think when we committed that one, they were the ones who thought, this guy take the whole market. Yeah, true enough, I think sold out very well. And then they later back came and say, how do you see this? And all I said, sometimes it's also maybe luck also. Or maybe you are there, then you get to speak to the local. Now think back, you can ask this question, right? Maybe those staff in the office that help me understand about. Yeah, it's not the market big, not small, what? But it's whether you don't really know.
Correct. People that are willing to spend and got no place to spend. You give them an avenue to spend the money.
Afternoon, buy me dry jeans. After work, someone asked me, go dinner. I said, you're so rich, really. And then when we local steamboat.
So how many Chatham stores you have now?
When we started in 2011, I think, 11, 12. Started one, then ultimately to 14 or 15.
Oh,
14
wow.
or 15. Then 2012, 13, I decided I had come back to stay home really because wife are pregnant, kids are coming out, and said they don't travel so much anymore. Years before that is I can spend 1 month in Indonesia, 1 month here, just fly around lah. Then that time girlfriend, now wife follow me around. Then pregnant until 6-7 months cannot travel anymore, stay home. So I decided, okay, I need to stay in KL already. So sisters stay on, and eventually Chatime was also invested by the local partners, and then they took over. Today I think they probably have maybe 10. But it's a market that is not easy to have grow very huge, but it's an easy market to capture in one sense. But today's Cambodia standard is very different.
Correct. It doesn't feel very different from KL.
There's a good
Okay, anyway, come back to the story, right? You say your wife is about to give birth and all those stuff. This is probably around 2014 or so. 2013. Okay, so after your wife gave birth to your twin girls, 1 year later, you decided to start another F&B venture.
A bit earlier actually. So 13, when we know kids are coming, happy becoming a dad, and then, all those anxious questions come to you. So fine. Then that was already when we said, hey, if I stay in Malaysia, spend a lot of time here, why not do something at home? This is the story that I always tell people. I said back home because maybe also back home business you have your Muslims colleague and your non-Muslim colleagues, and they then go and makan, sometimes convenient. Plan trip also sometimes convenient, or places where to makan. We bring the Kedah folks come to KL. So you got to arrange also dinner restaurant, but sometimes different, right? So these are the things that maybe as Malaysian we grew up, it became a norm to us now, that we don't find something too unusual. But I think that also struck me in one sense that Malaysia actually is one market, but it's quite clearly segregated into segments of the halal and the non-halal per se lah, the biggest one. Then I said maybe having that opportunity, what we learned in the Chatime experience we learned in Cambodia, of so-called collecting cash kind of planning and expansion. If we can do something in KL, it could be quite big, should be bigger than Cambodia, right? So we have a lot more population in that. That's it. Then so what to do? Then wife came up with the idea, we do Thai food. I said, I don't mind, I like Thai food. So then bought Thai food. Can't be doing what that time I think Absolute Thai was doing, right? All those things we go to. I said there's no uniqueness of it. So brainstorm waiting down, I thought about bowl noodle is what I had before in Thailand, like all the time. It's not bowl that I like about. But it's not very commonly known. Because it doesn't happen in your shopping mall, so it happens outside. So because of traveling Thailand often and now, so I got exposed with all this.
Right.
So maybe somehow traveling is very important.
Correct, true. Because when you talk about wanting to start an F&B business in KL, and KL is very competitive. F&B business is one of the most saturated business that you can go into.
Every country says.
Correct. So if you don't have something interesting, and if you don't have the chop tower, it's very hard to survive, right? Yeah. So actually, my initial question was of all kinds of food that you can think of, why you want to go into boat noodle, but that you explained it already, right? But now I'm thinking back, right? It's a really brilliant idea because not only you are selling Thai food, you're also selling sort of an experience. Now, the first time I went to boat noodle store, right, with my family, right, we challenge among ourselves how many bowls you can eat.
Yeah.
So we order so many, right? And then as you see the bowl stacked, right, it has a sense of achievement. I eat higher and all the stuff.
Yeah.
And then after you pay the bill, then the waiter will come and show you the board, and then I'm how many bowls you have eaten and all. So those are really small little gesture, but I think it worked. Right, and I think those are very brilliant ideas and all that. To the point, I actually thought boat noodles actually came from Thailand.
And this actually, it is a Thai product, Thai concept itself. It's Thai. We really come up with the ideas of small bowls instead.
Yeah, but I didn't think of it coming from the Malaysian founder.
Right.
Yeah. So that is something interesting. So this venture is started off between you and your wife, just two people.
Me, wife, and then I have got a few cousins who were helping me in the trucking and logistics side.
Okay.
Back in Port Klang and Charlotte. So one of them also told me like, hey, we've been doing this thing for quite some time now. And it's not easy to just tomorrow buy another 10 trucks in Jalan, that kind of thing. I want to do something else also. So I had this idea. I said, we want to sell noodles. I said, you sure not sell noodles? He said, plainly speaking, sell noodles. But I said, I see this kind of market. But he said, I don't understand what you say, but let's try to do something new. So he came up and helped me. And in fact, he's still in the company today. He's running the show.
Okay.
When I'm not around.
Okay. So for Chinatown, Cambodia, your initial outlay was $100,000 US.
Very nice.
This one?
This one, believe it or not, I think it was 240,000 ringgit or so.
Oh, a lot.
First stop.
A lot cheaper.
A lot cheaper. And we designed the first stop completely wrong and too ambitious. We sell drinks in Cambodia. We thought restaurant, say stainless steel cabinet or find some decoration. Okay, So remember our first contractor told me, Tony, you got to raise the floor so that you can wash the kitchen down. So the price, I said, no need to raise. They say, very hard to wash. I said, never mind, I'll wash myself. True enough, we shut the first store down, I think 2-3 months. Really cannot. Have to close for like a week or so to renovate and reopen again.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you, your wife, and your cousins, you were very hands-on the business and all stuff.
To now say I'm very hands-on, later I think the team will say, you where got hands-on, we'll stop you. Yeah, I went there and helped in the beginning days, but it's really tiring.
Right.
Really, really tiring. No joke tiring.
No joke tiring, right?
My cousin got high fever after 3 days.
Because F&B business is a lot of sweat and tears, right? It's very labor-intensive kind of business.
Especially when you try to start everything yourself and nobody actually, you don't have a team. It's everything is your mind. Then the next day you want to do something also you do, just go and do, right?
Yeah.
So I think that is also a tiring part of it.
But I think the effort paid off, right? Because 2 years later, just 2 years only, it caught the attention of the Japanese, the Torido group of people. They saw you guys. How did this whole thing came about? Because boat noodle is not something very big, but you managed to get attention from so many thousand miles away, right?
Yeah.
So how did that happen?
At that point is where I truly will have to agree all timing is something that you really cannot plan and work on. But you got to be ready all the time now, which is very true, right? You got to constantly work on. If the luck comes, then you can ride on that way. If not, also way pass by you can't do anything. Just because of we were opening, business was okay, and then I have more friends coming to say, hey, Tony, we also want this. At the time, we are not talking about franchise or what. So I actually onboarded 6 friends, hometown friends, mostly younger than me. And I think one is they have a lot of energy. Second thing is they are each of them good in something. So I said, okay, you're good in marketing, right? You come on board, you take care of this, I do majority, you make minority, we count money together. We set up a store, this store belongs to your JV with me, but you come in the company and work as marketing.
Oh,
okay. Then one good in this, one good in that. So and now I'm having 5 people to come and work. So it's quite a fun place.
Right.
But I still spend a lot of time after 6 years old. So it's like half kind of going in and out with them.
Okay. Today, boat noodle is still the same structure?
No
more already.
After, I think that's where when the Japanese come in, we have to come back in one, some rebate, some cash out. And then now it's us in Japanese.
And how many stores do you have already today?
They met us, we have 14
14.
14 stores when they met us. And how? Purely
For 14 stores, they're ready to pay you 30 million ringgit for 40%.
I think that's another aspect and topic is that in my life, I never done F&B before. And you heard of it, you see news, people buy people, how much? You how people buy so much money one way, like how you know how much money you make, what, right? Pay tax, the profits, how much? Make what people pay so much money. So when this thing happened at the time, again, I think it's because of your friends and progress that. Then I happen to have friends who are who are working in the banks, who are investment bankers and this and that. Then I start asking, hey, actually people want to buy house. I say, yeah, I can help you. That's where you also learn that, actually it's then multiply lah, whatever. I think now today young people
they're more savvy.
More savvy in this sense. In that time, I really have no idea. When I told my parents, they said, sure, no, cannot be. So when Japanese came on board and did the valuation, that's what they are willing to give. But of course, I think it's also part of it because a friend of mine who said, he is also very young, he's actually 10 years younger than me. So he kind of bulldozed over and said, Tony, you tell me what you believe. I can then actually go around the world, seriously. And I think in the end, deals happen also a lot based on willing buyer and seller and that chemistry between two parties. It's very.
What did the Japanese bring to the table?
When they came and see us first, is that we go approach, right? I was very flattered in him. Such a big company, then look up at us like how we should be the one looking out at them, right? So we learned how they really manage chain stores, and they have ready overseas network for you to tell on whether it's workable or not, but it's there for you. And eventually they also send a Japanese director to come in as our operation head. Until today, overseas business is still managed by them.
Right. Has boat Noodle gone out of Malaysia already?
We did actually, 2018 or 19, the first one we went out was Singapore. So Singapore, at the peak before COVID, almost 10 stores, 9 or 10 stores via franchisee. COVID was a big turning point for Singapore also. I think the partners from COVID, they came up from COVID having new business model more in finance and helping many other investors coming back into Singapore. So they in turn kind of lose a bit of focus into F&B, but it's still there, operating at 5 stores today. But we are now trying to discuss a bit and see how to manage it ourselves, because that market should be able to cater 15, 20 stores, I think. Singapore is where we went to, and then we also went to Brunei, and then very big head all the way, let's go to Indonesia before COVID. And that also taught me some lesson. And as of today also, we have 5 in Philippines that we are actively working on.
I see. I was waiting for the word Thailand to come, but they didn't.
We went there to try once. We are Japanese partner who have already worked their stores there. They said, but what? Okay. At that point, I said, you bring Sushi King back to Japan. Then why do you want him that? Why do you want that? So we went there, true enough, doesn't really
didn't work.
Didn't work that way.
Right, maybe it's not authentic enough.
So authentic, halal version, they're almost 100% on. Also, they got all the element of the non-halal inside that makes it look special among my clients.
Right. Okay.
But today, I actually have some other ideas to. I told my wife, she said, no, it's not a good idea. Bangkok is such a visited city in the world.
Yes.
And if you stay in the city center, right, if you visit to Emporium, Paragon, all these places, Icon Siam, right, you see tourists are actually seeking out for new things from Thailand. The more authentic, the better. So try once for the trip. After that, they go back to their country, they don't come again. But even with that volume, right, I think low Thai brand represent both of them very well, except for maybe some of you will know this one called Tom Smith, right, in Bangkok, which is like a more premium one. I think somebody brought back to KL trying to do pretty much the same concept. But that's in big bowl. It's not the experience then. So I said, given opportunity and capital with our Japanese partner, I really want to go back to them, smack in crowd the city center, right, to have one proper one. Okay.
In my opinion, I think that's a brilliant idea. Because for people who go to Thailand, they may just stay in Bangkok. They may not have the time to go outskirts. And if you want to try the authentic boat noodle, you have to take 2-3 hours out, right?
Yes.
But now I can try it right here, right now. So I feel,
it's just whether that business can make money or not, I don't know. But if you ask me whether it will attract people, I think easily will attract a lot of tourists looking, especially the younger generation.
I know the Japanese, they also have this option to buy out the entire company, right? Did they hint that they want to do that, or they feel that they are comfortable right now?
Because when they first approach, it's about just buy out everything. Right?
Oh,
I think it's quite common for Japanese or any foreign investors to come and take control. Then you stay on for a couple of years, you pass on the know-how to others, we run, that kind of thing. But at that point in time, I told myself, I said, why not you come in, don't take over majority first. Number one is that. Number two, we are not at the size of that scale yet. So it's a bit too early to consider it as what you have done. Some people say, you should just take the money now, why you think so much? But if it's all for money, you should have sold everything seriously. Think back today, whether it will be better or not. Yes, at time when you're very tired. No, also at times that, luckily they did. Now still got a lot of chance to go about things that we want. So yes, they from beginning is all, and then no, they have an option in place which is scheduled to expire during 2020. COVID happened. Yeah. So things were put to stop during COVID. Nothing happened, and over COVID now came out. Now start to recover again. Over COVID, we shut down almost 20 outlets. It's a big hit on our account. No joke one. This one, I think, if your expansion is pre-COVID and then COVID comes to you, you cannot lie to people that you are not good.
That's the thing about F&B that sells experience. When you're in a lockdown situation, you cannot sell the experience anymore. Then it's all about quantity and the food itself. Right?
Plus, later on, of course, you have landlords to deal with, your rental, commitment, all those obligations of cost.
Which brings me to the next part of your business journey, BananaBro. The first time that I came across with the brand was during COVID itself. Mr. Money just started, we were in a lockdown. So three of us, Peter, myself and ZK, the co-founder, we need to have lunch. The only way to have lunch is to order, right? Then the co-founder ZK said, hey, there's this place called BananaBro, very nice one. The portion very big. That's why I say, let's order there, we can order 2, then 3 people share. Okay, so we did. And no doubt the portion was very big. That's the first impression that I have of BananaBro. I didn't know it was a banana leaf price kind of format. Until later on we come back out again, then I see some of your shops outside. Then only I realized, so this is the BananaBro. Yeah, so again, was it similar that you are trying to sell some sort of experience, or is it that you just think Malaysia don't have enough good curry, so you want to start a curry chain?
I think it will be the first. It made me believe in one way is that it's impossible for you to claim your world best of something. It's not easy. Then when it comes to food, how to say that? You can go argue to the moon now, but consumer make the decision. Then that brought me to something like if I want to do something in F&B, it has to have a certain, maybe a tradition or soul to it. So it's to be always a
business term is unique selling point.
It has a unique selling point, right? And I think more so is those selling point that it's not created from a marketing agency, it's the real history and culture of it. So although being small bowl, it was what it was in. But now they been eating on the leaf. You can put chicken rice on the leaf like but it's not how chicken was consumed. So that kind of struck me like, hey, actually this is very similar of what we brought closest back. Honestly, I think you should work on, but I think that time you're putting too much focus or resources everywhere. I just lost focus. Thinking back today, even with money, just got to make sure structure of company is clear, who's focusing what, people who's what. I think that one have to be very. So we failed on that one. And then we also had another business called Cookies and Coffee. That itself we saw famous being the cookie seller that everyone must go to, and it's not cheap. And freshly baked cookies, who will not say smell nice, confirm smell nice. My mom baked also, my mom doesn't bake like anyone's mom bake also smell nice. Right? So why not just bake in front of people and let people scoop by the size of bag? So we did 2. One is Subang Empire and one in Utama. It works quite well at the beginning. Same thing, just really no focus.
Correct.
Yeah, people pay by size of bag and then they just jump on and scoop things. They take picture, yet with that moment and experience. So people liked it. Buy cookies, although it's not a must and need for people, but still more of impulsive spending if you walk by. Doesn't work out well also for us. Why? Lost focus, I think.
Lost focus because you have too many businesses running at the same time.
Too many at the same time. Too ambitious.
When you start a business, do you always start a new company or you start from
So
the
all this
mothership?
I just mentioned, including BananaBro, was under one company.
Okay.
Who also owns Noodle as a subsidiary.
Until
So
today.
the holdings company is called U5B, where
Okay.
but you see many people until today. Of course, Japanese came in at a U5 level, so Noodle ultimately is there. Then we shut these smaller brands, focus back into this, and bring it to more countries. And 2017 started BananaBro, the first one, under the same company, together with our Japanese partner.
Okay.
So was telling them we will work. They said it will. But Tony Lim, please focus. We need to go around the world. I think the only different thinking at the time is that I still am not very sure whether I can go around the world or not. But in Malaysia, like tomorrow wake up, can do something about it. So that mindset still got a bit of difference there. So eventually, true enough, I think we carve out BBro, let it run by itself. In fact, look back today is a blessing in disguise. It worked out better in that way.
Okay, carve out means today the Japanese are not there anymore.
Not
It
there.
is a separate company.
So basically use that scenario to pay back whatever money that you find back probably over time now, pay it back, and then now BBro is one entity by itself.
So that explains why you were able to open your first stop in a prime area, Vijaya Times Square. I think it was because of the backing of the Japanese, right?
Japanese backing and also more landlords team.
Okay.
I think they've seen you work something before and they have the space that we took in Vijaya Times Square. If you know Times Square well now, that was a lobby, right? Was a lobby that nobody used. It's not even the F&B provision
Alright.
location.
So you put tables and chairs over there.
But the mall will have to invest in infra, to say at the back, right? So we said, okay, those, let's go.
Okay.
And then we got it quite cheap, that one way.
Right.
But the kickbacks is bigger.
Okay. Then the issue is once you spin it off as a Shenzhen brand by itself, then capital may become a problem already, right? Because you don't have that resources from the Japanese anymore. How do you deal with that?
So that's why the early days of BBro, we were also kind of very ambitious just because of that whole idea. Even today, what we believe is still very much believe in that Banana should be served to the nation with more accessible manner. Because if not, it's always BJ, Bangsa, Banana possible these two places. Go back outside, don't have. Go Penang, have a few, right? So it's what Malaysians would buy and eat. It's very comfortable for everyone, but hard to find. So that's the only challenge or problem that we try to solve as soon as we can. So having said that, the first store projection was so high. When we first year, I think the whole year operated average monthly, but what we achieved in real is maybe 30% of what projected. So say, okay, slow down. But the rest of small brand already don't do. But this one, we said, no, we must continue.
Okay.
It will work one. Because even less than what projected, it's still profitable, it's fine. So they say cash flow, and then whether we want to take on bank loans and whatnot, that also relate back to families. I see how parents deal with banks and how when they age, their worries naturally come to when are we going to debt free. Not to become ultra rich, but I think when people get older, I just want to retire, don't want to deal with debt on hand. So that taught me in the very beginning is that if possible, try not to. Maybe have good partners to be able to invest with us is a better idea. As of today, I think shouldn't be thinking that. Should take financing and bank facility and help in a more positive way.
Right.
It's a very good partner that doesn't tell you much, just give me back my interest kind of way.
Okay.
Right. So it's more about your enterprise.
So can I say BananaBro expansion was entirely through internal generated funds?
Pre-COVID, we had 4 from Vijaya Times Square. We went out, we said, let's try shop lot in Sri Tanglin, which is like a very non-halal commercial area. But I think for especially a Chinese consumer, I think it makes sense in one way is that you can pet price. So it's compatible to your Zafan, no?
Yeah.
Because you got not so much choices.
Right.
So we say let's try that out, and that worked out quite well. There are 2 more in some smaller malls in around Cheras as well. So that 4 until COVID happens, again was took to stop, then just doing it. This 4 was generated internally, just slowly opened up. And then COVID came. The delivery was still doing pretty well because maybe that's easy to order. It's curry guys like me.
That's when I tried my first BananaBro.
Right? So out from COVID really is when a lot of other brands or cafes are big. So that's where we have a lot of opportunity when landlords come and say, hey, we actually have an F&B outlet renovated. but don't move it. Things are still running. Can you guys take over? So we went and see. Actually, you don't require sophisticated kitchens about it. So it's an Asian kitchen that makes sense. Okay, let's do it. And the beginning days run so fast, right? The shop has no concept clearly one. It's just green color, yellow table, white chairs, that's all. So we said we maintain this, but we make sure that leaf is stamped and all, make sure that product is identifiable first.
Okay.
Then let's move those on the capex because we don't have a lot of money. But then also lucky enough is that after COVID, government come up with a lot of grants, so the SGP backloan, like they said, which ultimately was much easier to gain financing at the point in time.
Okay.
Especially when your business is working as retail and then people know you. So they are quite willing to do it, although it's higher cost. But we said, okay enough, it's okay, it's a term loan anyway, it's not cash flow or your.
Yeah.
So take that to the capex until today.
From what you mentioned, I think you also have a very stringent management on your finance, your management accounts. So I think that gives confidence to the bank as well. Right?
Yeah, I think that is where I learned from the Japanese part.
Oh.
When before Japanese partner came in, yes, I personally I'm not a very good controlling money kind. I spend most of the money that I have anyway. So I knew for myself, somebody had to help manage the money part. But when Japanese came, it's where we learned, because they are audit company, so they need to close their account month by when. So we got into that practice. So ultimately also brought to where we operate.
I have one operational questions about your business that I would like to ask you, right? For boat noodle, it's quite straightforward. You make it into halal food and then you can target the entire Malaysia, and then it's Thai food, so people who want to have a taste of Thai food, they will want to go and eat at your restaurant. BananaBro, yes, is the experience of the banana leaf rice, but number one, spicy food. So young families with children, very hard to go there and eat. Number two is banana leaf. I think and I believe if you open 100 stores, 200 stores, you would run into the problem of you don't have the banana leaf. Yeah. So how do you solve these two problems?
From the very beginning days, we said, where to buy those leaf? Some friends said, hey bro, not easy one. You know that leaf is controlled by syndicate one. The Indian syndicates is controlling this market. Not very easy to go and you cannot get leaf. I said, sure man, go Google up. Through an album, you Google banana leaf supplier and say, really not much pop up, So I asked around some Indian friends, they introduce them and they don't supply enough until our partners is so soon. Come and said, just search Google in bahasa pembekal daun pisang. But he came up with a supplier cut into nasi lemak wrap U size. So then he said, hey, I need daun pisang but don't cut. Boleh tak? Boleh. Today at 1,000 stores also maybe you can.
Oh really?
As long as people are still cutting bananas, they need to cut their leaves anyway. And you don't buy, they throw.
I see. Okay.
In fact, around the world, a lot. We have a pop-up store in Perth where my sisters and the family is living in. Post-COVID, nothing else to do. I said, I want to try sell BananaBro curry. I said, okay, go ahead. Over Zoom, we teach her how to cook it, but she can cook as a mom. They can source banana leaf ingots. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, until today.
Okay, then the second problem, the spicy food.
Curry, the only thing that's non-spicy is the dal, right? And then you truly pointed out, young families. I've been through that. My daughter's 11 now, so my problem now is that they too decide different things to eat. Me and wife to sleep. then cannot eat spicy or spicy.
Okay.
But when they were growing up, true enough, if you go out shopping mall with small kids, you need to find a place where you can go to. Fast food became natural choice. Where kids can go become natural choices. Today, we are trying to also cater. Both of those saying, how are we going to take care of family, not targeting the kids? Because you're not going to make money out of kids.
Correct.
Decisions by parents.
Correct.
But how to bring that parents into the shop with you consider about them as a young family. So generally, people will just give you probably 1 cube plate, 2 nuggets inside of a small box of Milo and maybe a free toy, something like that. Workable. That is like simplest direct solution to parents . So we said, no, we need to take something for the kids. For example, maybe not processed nuggets, use our chicken breast to chop them up and fry them into a nugget. Because kids see nugget, very high chance they will eat. So that's what we're doing. So we call it banana kids.
Okay. So if I go to any BananaBro restaurants today, I can see banana
We are
leaf.
trying it out in some stores. So we usually, when new things happen, we don't want to do a one-time rollout. So we'll find some selected stores, work with the managers to try things out, measure some measures, do some numbers and see whether people take out or not take out rates, how much ops team can handle and deliver or not.
Right.
So now it's being trial, but I think we want to push it up before the year-end holiday time.
Through the BFM interview between you and Roshan, I got to know that BananaBro is going to make 90 million in terms of revenue this year. But that's not my question, because through this conversation, I understand that you have vast experience in F&B. And the secret recipe for F&B business to be really successful, right, is the vision of the founder and how he drives the business forward. Like you, right? No matter what you do, the renovation can be as is and whatnot, but the experience must be the same.
Yeah.
It has to be the banana leaf experience. So I think that is going to keep the business going quite far forward. So my question to you is, in view that BananaBro is going to make 90 million, let's assume that it's going to make 90 million. Boat Noodle side, you still own 60% today, so it's very easy for you to consolidate everything together. And
Other way of going.
yeah. So you as a holding company, do you have a bigger dream of making it into a F&B empire like Berjaya Food like that?
Yeah. In fact, that is really what I had always been imagining.
Okay.
And you see, really in Malaysia today, we were hoping for a few friends who really go IPO. Well, we heard of IPOs coming for restaurant, but a real restaurant operating counter in Malaysia is almost non-existent today. Or maybe we have overseas some time ago. But apart from that, even if you want to take a reference, also always ended up with Starbucks in China is Old Town White Coffee is really not
today is
sachet making
correct.
tons of money for that, right? Not so much for that. Then recently we have Oriental saying that they want to grow. Hopefully they really get there. Azu's Coffee is growing in that kind of scale and speed, right? But then even let's say any beverage counter will grow. Yes, similar industry, but operationally actually very different. Capex very different, margin very different, everything very different. But any Malaysian player that can grow also is where I could say hope really can happen. At this point in time, I think it's really, in one way, it's also a true fact. When all the money is by yourself, right? Your consideration, not to say people's money not responsible, but if it's purely your own pocket in your own bank account, your consideration level is not as daring. Not to say responsible or not. You dare not even imagine that far. Let's say Dubai got a market, we went to Dubai, say, hey, people can open here. Yeah, it's a very obvious answer that you can do that. 1, 2 stores, I don't think there's issues. Supply no issues, pricing no issues, consumer no issue. But today you go to the bank and say, hey, I want more money, bro. Without support from all this. And I don't think it's just the money. It's if at one day we can be a bigger company, hope to attract maybe investors who have network, things like an average. Maybe you open yourself up as a public company to more similar players around the world, although you are a little small company, but you are at a much bigger pond. So I think that is the direction that I personally want.
Right. So you would find strategic investors instead of just going to the market and take money and then don't know what to do with the money.
Maybe it's a Chinese thing. Even my mom and dad, 上市 always like, wow, you made it there. It's actually not, right?
It's actually very stressful. A lot of committee you need to answer to,
right.
And then investors will come to you.
But I think also another blessing these guys is that when you work with a public listed company as your partner, you live that kind of life daily anyway. We cannot close our account anything later than 15 or 14. Provisional must be out before selling. By group must come up, must have been prepared, and then by 12, 13, you must have internal meeting with firm close, done. It's not that scary one actually. Or for anyone who is reading out there, if they said, is that scary or not? I think maybe the charges of what, which I don't know, they are charging our partner. Maybe that's more scariest part for the finance model or business model itself. But dealing with this thing, if you are genuinely doing your thing, it shouldn't be scary. And I don't think these people are there to shoot you down or what.
Yeah, but there are a lot more things that you need to do that you don't have to do now. Like, for example, you need to have investor relations, you need to talk to fund managers, and that kind of things that may eat up a lot of your time that you can spend on operations.
Exactly. So that is where you also hope that you should have a CEO professionally running that part for you. I personally can take more of that. Maybe you've got a chairman role or whatever role at the fact still really driving the direction of the company.
Right. I really enjoy having this conversation with you, Tony. But just one last question before I let you go. Right? And I know you're a Sdn Bhd, so I won't push you too hard for this question. Is that if, let's say, going listing is your option, are you already eligible to put all these businesses together and go on listing? I just want to see whether you're eligible, and then from there I can roughly gauge what kind of numbers that you're doing, right?
Eligible or not, I think many people are eligible. Way more than eligible. And then I think even capital markets today in Malaysia encouraging smaller companies to really step forward. But whether the whole ecosystem is really ready to support the small business or not is another story. But eligible or not, I think should be okay. But more so is that if you speak to friends and what, people will say, oh, it's not a good time to go these days, or oh, actually the valuation is not good enough to go with this app. I don't know if this is true or not, but it's personal feeling is that I feel like if you have chance to go, you should take it. Because it's not go there tomorrow, end of story. I still believe going in, let's say your IPO days, yes, people news or the number one opening and what should 100% oversubscribe what. That's really important for your investors to come and join you. At least that's the first thing that they got back. But as a business to go very long term, in one way you also hope that it's not too aggressive for you to later on keep delivering that are higher than that. So that is also very scary for owner perspective. So if one day it would happen, I also need to don't go so hard, but we put out a 2-3 year plan how to go. I think that is a proper way to deal with this.
Okay, thank you so much, Tony. Very, very enjoyable conversation. Hopefully next time when you get bigger, it won't be too hard to get you on the show again.
No problem.
Thank you. Thanks. All right.